You know what time it is. So, just a reminder, I do these readings privately. I know that I do a lot more delivering of just general messages that I've either... I just receive them. Like, if those messages that I record every single day in my reels or in my lives were from me, I would have run out of things to say a long time ago. So if you want a reading, things are usually really busy around this time of year, just because of, I have multiple streams of income. So when spray tanning picks up, and as it's picking up with proms and Stagecoach and Coachella and all these shows that are nearby, that people want spray tans for, my life gets busier. So if you want to spray tan, now's a good time to book ahead of time if you're thinking about those things, number one. But also, don't forget that I don't just talk. You can actually have me deliver those pieces of advice to you, tailored to you specifically. I think sometimes people forget that. But, I get, it's funny. The last couple weeks, people haven't been booking readings as much. I've been getting a lot more messages where it's like, I've been thinking about getting a reading. So, you know what? If you're thinking about getting a reading and it's on your mind, my schedule's going to be getting kind of busy. So, it's time to schedule now. Just thought I'd let you know. My card prayers are really simple. I'm using my oldest deck, my most trusted oldest deck that I own. My intention for this reading is to just get a collective reading for general, what do we need to know? What are our blocks? What do we need to be aware of for these eclipses? Just anything that might be showing up from the other side that we need to be especially aware of. So that's my intention for this reading. I have said my card prayers, but I'll say it to you. I would like you to invite your teams from the other side, your guides, your entities, your deities. They're welcome in this reading, as long as they have our highest good in mind. I don't welcome any dark energies that want to drag us down and make things harder or confusing. I only want energies in this reading that bring clarity, are attached to godly love, truth, light, benevolent darkness. And I ask that my ego be removed so that I can deliver these messages as a clean filter, as clean as possible, humanly possible. No reader is 100%, but when our energies are aligned, we get pretty damn close. Oftentimes, people come back to me later, quite a bit later. My readings are for the future. I'm truly a fortune teller. I hardly, when the present shows up, we all know it. It's very, very blatant. But there's a lot of times where my readings have to be taken on trust. And I do love my clients because they do trust me. I have a lot of repeat clients that have worked with me for a long time. And they keep coming back for a reason. My predictions are accurate, but they do take time sometimes. So keep that in mind when you're working with me or thinking about working with me. What I like to do is I shuffle these cards until I feel like they're correct. My intention is to not take any reversals. The moon's in Scorpio right now, so we're going to be, Scorpio energy rules the sex organs, to be honest, and it also rules the intestines. So detoxifying, you might want to spiritually cleanse your root chakra and make sure that you're not carrying forward any sexual energy that might not be yours, might be collected from somebody else. Anything that might be attached to your personal body that wasn't yours to begin with. Okay, so collective. What spirit of angels, truth, love, and light, benevolent darkness, what can we learn for these eclipses? What do we need to know? What needs to come into our awareness? Give me a message I can deliver. I'm feeling like the cards are warming up. You know, I feel like maybe this is like an eye of the storm situation where I'm feeling like these cards are almost silent for a reason, and they are needing to be agitated, stirred up. Get that soliton centrifugal force from the center pushing out. Okay, I'm gonna pull. I'm getting 4 cards. Some people do Celtic crosses, and I've just kind of never been that person. So my intentions are to not take reversals, but we'll take note if they do come in with challenges. Okay, so right away we have a challenged Chariot, a challenged Knight of Wands, upright Six of Wands. And then we have a challenged King of Cups. So, all in all, it feels like some of us or all of us, anybody who tunes in, let's just put it like that. If you found this, it's for you. The Chariot, Knight of Wands are both about movement. But it feels like a deep knowing that you have to stay moving, that you can't settle down, you can't park yourself. You like, for me, I've been nonstop busy since Aries season started. I'm exhausted. The last 6 days, since the 19th. So it's been almost 2 weeks now of really nonstop energy. And sort of feeling like I'm behind, but I can't, my choice, I don't really have a choice to sit still. It feels like I'm being compelled to keep it moving. So this is why I feel like we're getting it in a major. We are converging timelines, really. I feel like that's why we have a contrast of light and dark. I'm going to get my nails done today, by the way. So don't think about that. You know, it's funny, we talk about the Chariot being ruled by Cancer. It's a Cancerian card. But when we think about the character of Cancer and the fact that its image is like a crab, right? Crabs don't walk forward. And this gives the appearance that this cart is going forward, straight forward. Hello. I see somebody in chat. Okay, so this would give the appearance of a forward-moving thing, but a crab moves sideways. So I feel like that feeds into the Knight of Wands as well. The Knight of Wands, again, forward movement, but it's kind of fickle. It's playful, but its direction keeps changing. Its inspiration can change from moment to moment to moment, and it's like impulsive, okay? A little hot-headed. So I feel like that's giving me a characteristic of how things are moving. It feels like quick changes. Quick changes, quick changes. But Spirit wants us to know that we're doing extremely well. People around us are watching how we deal with these changes. They're watching us expand. And we can't really get away from being perceived. So it's sweet. I feel like these are pivotal moments right now. I feel like I'm getting Bible verses. I don't remember who said it. Might be Paul, Apostle Paul. Wherefore, since we are surrounded by such a great crowd of witnesses, let us throw off anything that hinders. It sort of feels like that. So if there's any blockages or any mental blockages or fears or people throwing stumbling blocks or doubt getting in your way, doubt can really, really, really be a hindrance. Really, this is a race that we are aware of. That's why we, often these used to be raced. These types of carts, these carriages. The Sphinxes are not a physical race, though. These Sphinxes are always about spiritual development, ancient wisdom being applied, assimilated. All these parts of a Sphinx are kind of an amalgam, and they each have meaning separately. So it's not something that you can just look at and say, this is a surface thing. We're in a spiritual race where there's witnesses. Again, this looks like a horse winning a race. This is the only card in this spread right now that is sitting still. This is about making emotional decisions. Using our inner wisdom, our intuition as the jumping point. Like literally, he's on a pedestal in the middle of the sea. There is no ground around him. There's like boats in the background. I wish you would focus. Boats and fish jumping. But there is literally no ground behind him. So red and blue and gold are his clothing. His feet are in green. So even him, he has taken reign of his red impulse. His knowingness of his powers in that gold. And his, I feel like, balanced feminine energy is in the blue. Men hold feminine energy as well. Women hold masculine energy. This is about I feel like because this has a lot of action in it, we're getting masculine cards. Action is usually wrapped around masculine energy. So when we're thinking about masculine energy, action, orientation, that's Mars. Mars is in Pisces right now. Water energy. So I feel like this race, this spiritual elements that are all adding up with intuition. I was talking about the burning bush being for Aries season a few days ago. I feel like we are on the race of taking our assignments. We have kind of an inkling of what we need to do, what we got told over this first lunar eclipse in Libra. Like we have a sense of knowing what we need to do with this burst of energy. There's an empire to build. We have castles behind. So this is like a... I feel like, you know, this is... I feel like I'm being almost trite saying this, but it's bringing down the spiritual into the physical. These are the timelines we're converging. We have this sense of... We did a lot of dreaming in Pisces season. We did some daydreaming, some actualization, because we have Saturn there as well. We got into our ideals. And I feel like we're taking whatever it was that's been in the cerebral, in the hidden, and once Mars has been in Pisces, we're bringing dreams into reality through our actions, through our spirituality, bringing balance into our masculine and feminine, but also doing it in a way that's vulnerable, because it is impulsive, and we do have Mercury retrograde coming in Aries. People are watching us. We're very well aware of this, and we know that we have mysteries to contend with. We are unpacking the esoteric meaning behind everything at all times. It's kind of dizzying. But I think we're getting told is that our efforts have been successful. If we are not getting verbally told affirmations, people watch us silently and know that we're being consistent, right? It's about these spiritual choices. It's deciding, really. Okay, so spiritual, we have to work backwards. We're using our knowings, our intuition, that's primary. This is not about pentacles here. This is not about swords. This is knowing here, higher heart. This is solar plexus, sacral. We're healing the root chakra here. My throat got itchy. My ear is on the right, really itchy. My masculine side is really itchy. So I feel like we're having to be assertive. We're having to yeah, I know a lot of people actually dealing with this. Having to speak our minds, because our actions have been stifled by people around us. It's not the type of spiritual energy where we're just turning our cheeks. We're having to remark about the things that other people are affecting, how other people are affecting us, and say, the line in the sand is here. We're not doing this anymore. And we're having to do it at an impulsive rate, or what feels like an impulsive rate, but it's really coming from divine. It's fated. It's divine order. We put ourselves in this race in a divine order. Having these boundaries around our mission. Having boundaries around our mission has been paying off. And our rewards are going to be it's kind of like getting to witness our happiness develop before our eyes. And getting a table prepared for us in the presence of our enemies. I feel like we've walked through some shadows. And we've been using signs and wonders that we've been getting sent. Angel numbers, animals, children, dreams, knowings, synchronicities, I don't believe in coincidence. All these things are lining up to a bigger picture. What we're going through isn't for nothing. And I think it's going to be really fun getting to witness all these things come together for ourselves in real time, because other people are going to be able to see it too. It's not going to feel like isolated. We might be coming from an isolated place and moving into something that's more public, because the Chariot's movement, Knight's movement, and then we have positions of public awareness. Kings are being witnessed at all times as well. So anything else that we can get? What else do we, give me a final message. So we have spiritual enlightenment bringing us closer to our mission, and we've been trusting it, turning on a dime, doing our best here. It feels like we might be going on a limb and being crazy about it, because some of these cards were challenged. We might not be sure that that's what we're actually doing, but we're getting reassurance that we're on the right track, I believe. So what else can we learn? Can we get any more specificity? What areas of life? No, that's not the right question. This coming eclipse, so we're headed towards a new direction, and we're using our intuition to get there, and we're making decisions to have a more emotionally abundant, secure position. So tell me, what can we be looking out for before the next eclipse? What will we be needing to open our eyes to before the next eclipse? This is our now. Tell me about the future, the short-term future here. Have Let Me Clear My Throat playing in my head. Is that Public Enemy? I don't know who did that. Let me clear my throat. So what do we need to be aware of? So the next, I did 3 cards. Okay, so it continues. It's like a reiteration. It's going to be affecting our emotional state more than anything else. And our ability to use tangibly what we're learning. So this is a timeline convergence. First, through things we can't see, but we can feel them. And then it actualizes through the physical. But it's not so much mental, this is spiritual. Okay, so the next 3 cards that I pulled, and then we'll close this out. We have the 4 of Cups. This is kind of like either taking things for granted, that it's like, or we're a little bit like the card before the 4 of Cups is the 3 of Cups. And it can be like a little overindulgence. This can be a hangover feeling where it's like, I cannot tolerate one more thing. But it's a gift. So we might be, or we might be too focused on what we might be missing, that we don't see the opportunity to be able to open our hands and take in more. Holding space for something is a little tricky sometimes. We might be thinking we want this thing, and it's like getting offered to us, but we're so stuck in the pattern of absence. You know what I'm saying? We might be locked into that feeling, or addicted to that feeling of attainment. I don't have it yet, telling ourselves a story if it's not coming. to the point that we might not be seeing the evidence of that materialization. We had a challenged Queen of Cups trying to come in. So keeping that in mind, she does have solid ground around her, which is really interesting, but she also has elements of air. I wish this camera would focus. Maybe. Can you see her coat? Why is this being such a bitch? I don't know. But she has air. Kind of looks like clouds to me in her coat, but it also kind of looks like water rippling too at the same time. I painted a Venus, and it has a cliff that's very similar to this cliff, and I just realized that it has very similar energy. But she has pebbles, more solid ground, easily erodible solid ground, but still solid ground nonetheless to work with. So we do take that cup because we realize, I feel like we're not going to miss this opportunity. It's just going to feel like that cup is going to put us in a, oh my God, this reminds me. Okay. I just had a birthday, and I've got so much positive reinforcement, so much positive attention that it was really hard to absorb, because I come from a lot of emotional abuse, a background of a lot of emotional abuse and neglect. More abuse and neglect than positive reinforcement, let me tell you. So I've had, and besides that, I've had a lot of birthdays where I'll invite people to do things. I'll have parties, I'll buy everything, and I'll invite people to come over, and people just kind of shine me on. I'm not a very popular person. I have my close, very small group of friends, but a lot more people reached out to me on my birthday than I really expected. I didn't know some of those people had me on their mind. So I was very honored. I felt very warm. I felt very loved on my birthday. So I feel like that acceptance, that receiving, that's what this feels like, okay? So I feel like between what we're encountering is